Imagine New York City, 1857, a raw, untamed beast of a place. Cobblestone streets glisten with mud, horse carriages clatter like war drums, and coal smoke hangs thick, stinging the eyes. Street vendors hawk oysters and newspapers, their voices cutting through the din of dock workers unloading creaking ships. This is no polished metropolis. It's a pressure cooker, a city where fortunes are made or shattered in a heartbeat. Into this chaos strides 20-year-old John Pierpont Morgan, a 6-foot-tall force with slick dark hair, grey eyes that could carve granite, and a tailored vest screaming ambition. Born in Hartford, Connecticut to banking patriarch Junius Morgan, JPS got a silver spoon, but his hunger's all shark. He's not here to play, he's here to win. Numbers don't lie, he quips, straightening his tie as he steps off a carriage, dodging a cart's muddy splash. But people sure try to make him. JPS, no ordinary rich kid. His father, Junius, a cold, calculating banker, molded him like steel in a forge. From age 14, JP was shipped to Europe, elite boarding schools in Switzerland, Germany, where he mastered math, French, and the art of staring down anyone. Picture young JP in a stone-walled classroom, snow dusting the Alps outside, scribbling equations under a gaslight's flicker, his brain racing while classmates dozed. "Discipline's my edge," he told a friend, his voice sharp as a blade. Back in New York, while other 20-year-olds chased whiskey, women, or waltzes, JP chased power. He lands at Duncan Sherman & Co., a Wall Street firm in 1857, a clerk in a cramped office where cigar smoke and sweat mingle. The room's a furnace, wooden desks piled with ink-stained ledgers, clerks scratching quills like drones, gaslights spitting shadows. JPS no drone. His brain's a steam engine crunching cotton and grain trades faster than men twice his age. He spots errors others miss, his pen slashing red ink like a saber. "This place moves too slow," he mutters, eyes gleaming, already plotting his escape. By 1860, the Civil War's shadow darkens America, and Wall Street's a madhouse. Trading floors roar like battlefields, papers flying, traders shouting cotton prices as telegraphs hum with war news. JP's 23, his suit sharper, his hair still slick, and he's in his element, a poker champ in a saloon brawl. He flips deals with surgical precision, turning chaos into profit. But here's the dirt, and it's juicy. JP dodges the Union draft in 1863, paying $300 for a substitute to fight in his place. Sketchy? Oh yeah, standard for the rich, absolutely. Picture him in his office, rain lashing the window, signing the check with a steady hand. "I'm not bleeding in a ditch," he growls, tossing a draft notice into a candle's flame, ash falling like snow. "I'm building a dynasty." His battlefield's here on Wall Street, where he stacks profits like cannonballs, trading cotton and bonds while others spill blood. Rivals whisper he's ruthless. Clerks call him a genius. The truth? He's both, and he's just getting started. In 1864, JPS 27, his hair thinning, his nose reddening from rosacea, not rum, despite the barroom gossip. He's done playing second fiddle. With a gut full of grit, he launches JP Morgan & Co., a modest office on Wall Street that smells of ink, ambition, and fresh paint. The sign goes up, nailed with his own hands, and passers-by stop, whispering, "That's Morgan's boy." His first big score? A railroad bond deal with Charles Dabney, a wiry veteran banker. Railroads are the 1860s tech boom, wild, scammy, and dripping with cash. Picture JP hunched over maps, gaslight flickering, tracing rail lines like a general planning an invasion. He sniffs out fraud, audits every cent, his gray eyes missing nothing. One deal bags him $1 million in today's dollars, enough to make rivals choke on their cigars. "Precision's my weapon," he says, stacking coins on his desk, each clink of victory. His office buzzes past midnight, clerks yawning, but JPS wired, mapping an empire while the city sleeps. The 1870s dawn, and JPS restless. Railroads are a mess. Overbuilt, underfunded, bleeding cash. He's 34, his red nose bolder, his temper sharper. In 1871, he pulls a masterstroke, merging with Anthony Drexel, a Philadelphia banking legend with a silver mane and a vault of credibility. Why? Drexel's got the name. JPS got the hustle. Together, they form Drexel, Morgan & Co., Wall Street's Death Star, bankrolling giants like the New York Central. But JP doesn't just lend, he owns. Picture a mahogany boardroom, frosted windows, cigar smoke curling, JPS at the head slamming his fist, barking, "Efficiency's not optional, it's the damn law." He fires deadweight, slashes costs, installs his own CEOs. Rivals call him a bully, he calls it progress. His temper's a storm, desks bear scars from his fists, but he's loyal, mentoring young bankers like a grizzled sensei. One night, he grabs a trembling clerk's ledger, spots a $10,000 error and roars, "Fix it or you're done." The clerk scrambles. JP pats his shoulder, muttering, "Good, learn fast." By 1880, JPS 43, worth $100 million in 2025 bucks. His red nose and balding head, a Wall Street trademark. His stare could freeze a bull market. His name whispered in awe or fear. He's not just rich, he's a force, eyeing railroads, steel, maybe the whole economy. But the Gilded Age is a snake pit. Rival tycoons like Jay Gould lurk, ready to strike. JPS built a foundation, but the real game's ahead. His Corsair yacht waits in the harbor, a floating fortress where he'll rewrite the rules. Drop a comment. Would you bet on young JP Morgan or run for cover? Hit that like button, subscribe, and let's watch his empire ignite in part 2. Share this on X with Nasher Money Moves 2025. Let's make finance epic. The 1880s dawn, and JP Morgan's not just playing Wall Street's game, he's rewriting the rulebook. He's 43, a grizzly bear in a frock coat, balding fast, his red nose from rosacea sparking barroom lies about whiskey binges. His gray eyes don't just see you, they judge, and you're coming up short. Drexel, Morgan & Co. is a financial juggernaut. Its Wall Street office a fortress of oak and ambition, telegraphs humming like war drums. Railroads, the arteries of America's boom, are bleeding cash from price wars, a chaotic mess like a Black Friday stampede. JPS had enough. In 1882, he summons rival tycoons to his yacht, the Corsair, a floating palace of mahogany paneling, crystal chandeliers, and menace. Picture him at the head of a polished table, cigar glowing like a dragon's eye, his voice low, lethal. "End the price wars, or I'll crush you all." Smoke curls, glasses tremble, and the tycoons, hard men like Jay Gould, fold like cheap suits. Prices stabilize, profits soar, and JPS, not just a banker, he's a kingmaker, owning the board in a game he rigged. By 1885, JP's S48, his cane tapping like a metronome, his red nose bolder. Railroads are still a disaster, overbuilt, underfunded, a financial swamp. Take the Baltimore and Ohio, a bankrupt wreck bleeding millions. JP dives in like a surgeon, slashing debt, firing slackers, auditing every rusty rail. Picture him in a smoky rail yard at dawn, steam locomotives hissing, workers scrambling as he barks, "Fix this or you're gone." His team turns the B&O into a cash machine, and JPS cut, millions in fees, comes with total control. He's not just banking, he's ruling, picking CEOs, streamlining routes, making trains run like Swiss clocks. By 1890, his wealth's $1 billion in 2025 dollars. His Manhattan mansion, a fortress of marble floors, gilded paintings, and a cigar vault bigger than most apartments. Servants glide, whiskey flows, but JPS restless, pacing, muttering, "Bigger, always bigger." His empire's a machine, but it's never enough. Power draws heat, and JPS catching plenty. Newspapers brand him a robber baron, their cartoons drawing him as a fat cat crushing workers under gold sacks. The public's sour, railroad fares pinch farmers, small businesses choke under his grip. JP doesn't blink. Picture him in his office, gaslights flickering, crumpling a paper with his caricature. "I build, they whine," he growls, puffing smoke. "Let 'em." His enemies multiply, populists, unions, rival bankers like Jacob Schiff, but JP's bulletproof. His network spanning London, Paris, New York. He funds Edison's electric lights, wiring cities with a future only he sees. One night, strolling a New York street, he watches gaslights fade as electric bulbs hum to life. "That's my money glowing," he says, a rare smile cracking his face. But the Gilded Age is a snake pit, and every win breeds new foes. Then 1893 crashes like a tidal wave, the panic of 1893. Banks collapse, stocks crater, railroads fold like paper. The US Treasury's gold reserves are dust, and America's on its knees. President Grover Cleveland's sweating bullets, his advisors useless. Who gets the call? J.P. Morgan, 56, striding into the White House, his cane tapping like a war drum, his red nose glowing under gas lamps. Picture the scene, map sprawled, Cleveland's spectacles fogging, as J.P. pitches a $65 million bond deal to save the economy. "Trust is my currency," he says, his voice steady, eyes locked on the president. It's a high-stakes gamble. Failure means ruin, not just for JP, but for America. He pulls it off, bonds sold, gold restored, economy stabilized. Wall Street erupts in cheers, the press sneers, claiming he profited off misery. "Somebody had to," JP snaps, lighting another cigar, his hands steady but his heart racing. Farmers curse him, senators call him a vulture, populists paint him as Wall Street's Darth Vader. But he saved a nation, and he knows it. By 1900, JP's 63, his body betraying him. Heart flutters, joints ache, his red nose a beacon. Yet he's unstoppable, pulling off the deal of the century, US Steel, merging Andrew Carnegie's empire into the world's first billion-dollar corporation, controlling 70% of US steel. Picture the boardroom, steel samples gleaming, Carnegie's wiry frame dwarfed by JP's bulk as they shake hands. It's a financial moonshot, cementing JP's 500B empire, a web spanning railroads, steel, electricity. He's not just a banker, he's America's shadow central banker, funding wars, wiring cities, shaping the globe. But cracks are forming. His temper's a wildfire. One aide flees after a desk-shattering rant. His health's shakier, doctors muttering about his heart. And Teddy Roosevelt's antitrust laws loom like storm clouds, targeting JP's empire. The public paints him as a fat cat, crushing the little guy. JP's defiant, pacing his office, maps glowing under gaslight. "I'm not the problem," he roars. "I'm the solution." He's at his peak, but the ground's trembling, and a bigger storm's brewing. Comment below, is JP Morgan a genius forging America or a tyrant choking it? Smash that subscribe button. His greatest test awaits in part 3. Jara Money Moves 2025, October 1907, and Wall Street's a war zone. Picture it. Cobblestone streets packed with panicked bankers, top hats bobbing, papers fluttering like wounded birds. Bank doors slam shut, crowds scream for their savings, the US economy teetering on collapse. Who steps into this inferno? Not the president, not Congress. One man, J.P. Morgan, Wall Street's grizzled lion. Imagine a weathered Christian Bale, 70, frail but fierce, cane in hand. Gray eyes like steel under a balding crown, his red nose glowing like a beacon. This isn't just a banker. This is the guy who made America's money, forging a 500B empire that still powers your bank account in 2025. How does a kid from Connecticut become the titan who bails out a nation, not once, but twice? From outsmarting Civil War chaos to crushing rivals like a financial juggernaut, J.P. Morgan's saga is a roller coaster of ambition, power, and redemption. He's Wall Street's Darth Vader, its savior, its enigma. want the jaw-dropping secrets of his 500B legacy, secrets that shape the banks behind your paycheck? Smash that subscribe button, hit that bell, and let's dive into the House of Morgan where money talks and JP roars. Buckle up, this is Money Moves and we're going epic. Money Moves 2025. It's 1900 and JP Morgan's 63, a weathered colossus in a black suit, his red nose blazing, his grey eyes still burning with fire. He's not just a banker, he's America's shadow central banker, a one-man Federal Reserve before it existed. His 500B empire, railroads, steel, electricity, spans the globe, from London's marble banks to Tokyo's bustling exchanges. But power's a heavy crown, and JPS feeling the weight. His heart flutters, his joints ache, doctors hover like vultures. The public's venom grows. Newspapers call him a monopoly king, cartoons show him strangling Lady Liberty with gold chains. Teddy Roosevelt's antitrust laws are sharpening their blades, eyeing JP's US steel and railroads. Picture JP in his Manhattan mansion, pacing marble floors, cigar smoke curling, muttering, "They need me more than they know." He's defiant, but the cracks are showing. Then 1907 hits like a sledgehammer, the panic of 1907. Wall Street's a bloodbath. Banks fail, stocks plummet, crowds mob closed doors, their savings gone. The government's frozen, President Theodore Roosevelt powerless. JPS 70, frail, leaning on a cane, but his mind's a steel trap. He takes charge, summoning top bankers to his library, a grand fortress of marble walls, leather books, and gas chandeliers. Picture the scene, cigar smoke thick as fog, coffee pots steaming, bankers sweating in their suits. JP paces, cane tapping, barking, "Pool $25 million or we're all finished." No sleep, just grit. He locks the doors, forcing deals, his voice gravelly, eyes blazing. One banker hesitates. JP's stare could melt iron. By dawn, the deal's sealed. $25 million to save key banks, panic crushed. Wall Street erupts in cheers. Morgan, the savior. Newspapers hail him, but his heart's racing, his breath short. He lights a cigar, muttering, "Had to be done." He saved America again, but at a cost. The glory fades fast. Roosevelt's antitrust crusade intensifies, targeting JP's US empire as a trust-choking competition. By 1912, the Pujo Committee drags JP's US partners to Congress, painting him as a demon strangling the economy. JP's US 75, his body failing, but he testifies, cane steady, voice firm, "I serve the nation, not greed." Picture him in a grand hall, American flags behind, senators glaring, reporters scribbling. His grey eyes lock on his accusers, unyielding, but his hands tremble slightly. The public split, hero or villain. Farmers curse his name, bankers toast his nerve. JPS isolated, his mansion a gilded cage. Yet quietly, he gives back, funding the Metropolitan Museum's art, hospitals, churches, no spotlight sought. Picture him in his office, snow falling outside, signing a check for the Met. "Publicity's for suckers," he mutters, rubbing his chest, wincing. His generosity's a whisper, but it's real, a redemption few see. By 1913, JP's 76, a shadow of his prime. His empire's a titan, but the Federal Reserve, born in 1913, steals his thunder, a system inspired by his 1907 bailout to prevent future crises. JP won't witness its birth. After a grueling Egypt trip, he collapses in a Rome hotel, marble floors gleaming, dawn light spilling over the Colosseum. His heart gives out March 31st, 1913. JP Morgan's gone. Wall Street dims its lights, flags drop, a rare nod to a legend. His son, Jack, carries on, but JP's magic is unmatched. Picture the streets, bankers bowing heads, a gold coin rolling to a stop. JP Morgan Chase, still a giant in 2025, bears his name. proof of a vision that outlived him. Why care about J.P. Morgan today? His deals built the banks behind your savings, his bailout saved millions from ruin, and his flaws, temper, control, teach us even titans stumble. He wasn't perfect. Too much power, too little patience, but he stepped up when America begged. That's the 500B legacy, part hero, part villain, all legend. Comment below, is Morgan the ultimate money man or too ruthless for redemption? Hit that like button, share this on X with Now Money Moves 2025, and let's keep the saga rolling. That's J.P. Morgan, the titan who bankrolled America, outsmarted crises, and left a 500B legacy that still shapes your world in 2025. From a hungry kid in 1857 to Wall Street's savior in 1907, his story's a masterclass in ambition, power, and redemption. Want more money men like Morgan, Rockefeller, or Mansa Musa's 400B gold empire? Subscribe now and join the Money Moves crew. Check out our playlist for Mansa Musa's wild tale. Insert playlist link. Drop a comment. What's JP's boldest move? 1893 bailout, 1907 panic, or building U.S. Steel? Was he a hero saving America or a villain crushing it? Hit that bell, keep chasing that bag, and we'll see you in the next Money Moves saga.